Got it.
We're streaming live, fellas.
All right.
What's good, YouTube? What's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of NewEra410 podcast. It's your boy Mason, and you know I got my co-host, you feel me, Mr. Neil in the building, of course. And we got our special guest today, drum roll. Uncle Grandpa. What's good, Uncle Grandpa? Thank you for coming in, man. We appreciate you coming through. How you feeling?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. What's going on, people?
Love you, Uncle Grandpa.
Sure.
Much love.
We posted you on our YouTube as a short, and we put Friday's mood.
Definitely. No doubt.
Sir.
Definitely always a move. For the people that don't know who you are, man, let's give us a brief synopsis on, you know, who you are, a little bit about you, what you do, where you come from, all those type of things.
Okay. Well, Uncle Grandpa is, what can I say? He is just, he's the life of the party everywhere that he goes. He's all about positive energy. He's all about motivation, inspiration, and just good, clean fun through the beautiful genre that was once underground and finally getting some flowers, the Baltimore club culture. So he tries to spread that everywhere he goes, every city, every state, everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So that it becomes a household name.
Thanks.
You feel me? So he hails originally from Eastern Shore, Maryland, and you know, over the years, over the decades that's passed, kind of got credibility from the city of Baltimore because most people didn't know that, you know, I was not from the city until some years later, getting to know me, because every time there was a party, especially on a Friday, you would see your boy in the building. But my roots go deep as far as Eastern Shore, Maryland is concerned. Grew up in Caroline County, residing in Talbot County right now. For those that don't know, that's Denton, Maryland. D Block, stand up. And I currently live in Talbot County right now, which is Easton, about an hour or so from Ocean City. And I know everybody's familiar with Ocean City. But my roots planted in Baltimore came about, I'd say, in 2011. And the origin of Uncle Grandpa started in 2014. Started out as just a sending a message to the club culture that, hey, I'm not too old to do this, even though I'm the oldest out here doing it. So it was kind of to send a message to all my competitors that, you know what I'm saying, don't let the age fool you. I can still compete. I can still do this thing at a high level. And I'm going to have fun regardless, win or lose. And from that point on, it kind of grew and took its own shape to the likes of which I never even dreamed that it would be today. Because Uncle Grandpa had took a seat a few years back, you know what I'm saying, because it was just meant for one night for the King of Baltimore competition. And it was just something to really get people's attention and open a whole bunch of eyes, which it did just that. But, you know, before Uncle Grandpa really caught his heat, there was a dry spell time because, you know, I've been doing this for a little bit, rolling with the Be More Than Dance family. Shout out to Neek Be Chillin'. And I was doing my thing, getting my love, putting my work in, putting that time in. But I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until the emergence of social media, I would say in 2020, 2021, that time frame is when I really broke out of my shell and got exposed to the world, just making a simple video mimicking a trending dance, which was the Carnell Stomp. Shout out to Carnell. And I did that video and it went crazy on social media because I was already familiar with TikTok, but I wasn't the mindset wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't thinking of applying Uncle Grandpa to TikTok for that reason. I was just doing me at that point in time. It was just Tyler General just dancing, you know what I'm saying, enjoying anything like that. But then one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fool around a little bit, you know, I'm gonna go ahead, get suited and booted, and I'm gonna try one of these trends and see what happens just for the fun of it. And
Right.
the result was crazy. And I said, okay, well, if they feeling me just from doing the Carnell stomp, I wonder how they feel if I just shake off, like just go in real quick. And
Good move.
I did that, and man, it was like firecrackers for real. And then it just, from that point on, my creative juices was like rejuvenated to a whole nother level. It was like, okay, I'm definitely on to something here, but it can't stop there because I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of the potential. And then, you know, so I got the idea, you know what? I'm gonna take this thing on the road. I'm not going to just keep it, you know, in town or in the city or going to a party. Like, I'm literally going to go everywhere that I can, and I'm just going to jump out there and just shock and awe people. And so I started doing that. I started picking random towns to show up in that had, you know, type of different events, book flights to cities. I want to say in 2021, I must have traveled to at least 7 or 8 cities in the summer, from New York, Jersey, Philly, Delaware, Chicago, Vegas.
Love that, bro.
I think I'm missing one, but basically everywhere I went, video. And what really broke the mold for me, that let me know that this was not just a thing, that it was like a niche, it was like my calling to do, is coming back from Vegas. I got stuck in a layover flight. So I was sitting in Colorado in the airport, Denver International Airport. And I was there from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. the next day. Woo. All day. You know what I'm saying? And I was just sitting there bored out of my mind. And it just hit me. I said, yo, why not make a video right here? Right here. So, you know, I chilled a little bit and kind of assessed the area and just looked to see, you know, what are the odds of potential of me getting kicked out of here. I looked around, seeing people just migrating, doing a normal thing that they do at the airport. I said, nah, this, you get a feeling that something's going to go off without a hitch. So I said, okay, this is perfect. Went to the bathroom, got suited and booted, sat down, looked around. Everybody wasn't paying no attention to the old man with a cane and everything. I said, okay, oh, I got something for them. Sat and it was funny because as I started to move around, people started paying attention, like, what is he doing? Sat my little phone up to a little small portable speaker, real small, just loud enough that you could hear it, not obnoxious loud, but it's just enough to cover the room. Sat down, set that bad boy up for a nice little 30-second jiffy. Sat down, waited for the countdown. Boom, 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 boom. Music started going off, and as soon as like "Little Mama, so what you doing?" and everybody looked around, I was like, oh. And I just went with the flow, and it was like I knew every drop, and I said, okay, I knew exactly how I'm gonna come in on this video. Soon as that first little tap sound comes, I'm gonna kick the cane, and then I'm just gonna go in. I did that, and people was like, oh. Next thing you know, people pulling out their phones and everything. There's a dude in a red sweatshirt, never met a day in my life, was back there hyping me up, pumping his fist. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking. They see the phone, they see the recording and everything, and they're just organically interacting while I'm just doing me. And then when I hit the split, it was over. I drew everybody in from that.
Right.
And Lord, I'm trying to tell you, like a day later, posted the video once I got back home, and it just started going crazy. Notification, bing, 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 bing. I was like, what the? Before I knew it, man, I was looking at 4 million views
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's when I knew. I said, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is my gift.
Love that. If I can interject for just 1 second, just to give you your flowers. There's three things that I wish I am all like. I will. If anybody doesn't know, I'm also a Baltimore club dancer.
Legendary.
In no way, shape, or form as close to as many followers as you have. But I mean, I think that is a great accomplishment. But the flowers I really want to give is there's three things that you have that I wish that I had, and that is consistency,
Yeah.
that is discipline,
Yeah.
and that is passion, bro. Like those three things, like I wish I had like half of what you had, bro. Because it's beautiful to watch. I love to see it. Um, Growing up as a Baltimore club dancer in Baltimore, like I had the vision to do pretty much what you're doing right now in the club scene. And I think everybody's dream as a dancer is just to make it, just to be seen, just so everybody can see your creative vision and what you have going on. Not only that, you make it look fun. Not only that, you're proving a point, right? You started this thing with a point to prove, and the point has been made. Not only has it been made, it's being made over and over and over again for millions to watch. And I just want to give you your flowers to let you know that I see you. If don't nobody else in the world see you, which 4 million do, just know I see you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that very, very much. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to the scene is cutthroat. The scene itself is cutthroat. And if you are not recognized as one of the greats or one of the pop-in or anything like that, they don't really pay any attention to you. And believe it or not, as a dancer, we all want that type of validation, even though we say we don't. A lot of them say that we don't, but realistically, as an entertainer and a dancer, of course you want to be validated. Of course you want to be recognized for what you bring to the table in terms of dancing, in terms of entertainment, skill, all of the above. So I would be lying if I said that, for years I felt like, what I'm saying, my contribution to the scene was going unnoticed. And it was just like, yeah, you cool. I mean, you be rocking, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I supply that wow factor, that OD thing that everybody, so desperately wanted to achieve. And like that. So, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Y'all do that. Y'all do that. But I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it my way. And now on top of that, I'm going to sustain and I'm going to outlast everybody that's so-called OD, you know what I'm saying, that's did it their way and got the recognition or the post being talked about, this, that, and the third. I said, that's good. That's cool. But when it comes down to Father Time, in which all of us are eventually going to hang him up, I will outlast majority, and if not 80% of the culture, just because of those things that you mentioned. My drive, my passion, you know what I'm saying? And just my overall commitment and consistency to knowing what I can bring to the table.
Facts. Love that.
So I appreciate you for that, Neil, because I've always had high amount of respect for your creativity and what you've brought to the scene in terms of beat catching and everything, because that's what your reputation was based off of. And for the longest time, that was criteria that was necessary to be considered nice on the scene. You had to be able to do that at least a little bit to, to hold your own against the upper echelon of the scene. And a lot of that has to do with you. So like I said, you gave me my flowers, but I'm giving you yours in return. I've always respect how you delivered, your skill and how you went about battling and all of that, like you made sure that you stood out. You know what I'm saying? Your style and your creativity was always different,
Right.
and you can be proud of it. You know what I'm saying?
I totally appreciate that, man. I just feel like there's three black men on this podcast giving flowers, man. I love it, man. You know what I mean? I love that. I love the feeling, because it's being from Baltimore or being around a Baltimore culture.
Yeah,
it's tough to see black men living in a positive light. You know what I mean? Or so let's just say on media or social media, it's there, but it's not really captured. Other things are captured. So I feel as if we as black men I wouldn't just say just Baltimore dance culture. I would say Baltimore culture of arts in general, just the whole thing of the whole cultural thing. We need to be shedding the light, which is always positive, so people can see that, and you know what I mean. And that's really all I gotta say about that, bro.
I agree because I mean the city gets a bad rap for being, labeled as like the murder capital of the world, and you always hear about the negative aspects of it, but there's so much positivity that the city offers as well that nobody really talks about.
Love that. Hey, Boop, do you have? I mean, it makes you got any topics about that?
It's tough.
Shout out to Boot, man. That's my lifelong childhood nickname.
Oh,
so if y'all hear that, it's all good. There ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't worry about it. If y'all hear that nickname, y'all, you good. Y'all gonna hear that in a lot of episodes. It's already been in a couple episodes. So what was you gonna ask me?
Do you have any topics? I didn't mean to segue into that, but
yeah, I got a couple topics. Well, first, I want to throw out some credentials first for the people that don't really know too much about Uncle Grandpa. And 5.9 million likes on TikTok.
Ooh.
5.9 million likes on TikTok.
You might as well just say that's the whole world, yo. That's a
5.9 million
huge chunk of the world.
411.1K followers on TikTok.
Oh my gosh!
Last time I checked, that's almost a half a MM.
Yeah.
I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there.
Love that.
Oh, we ain't done. We ain't done. Winner of the award for the best virtual dancer of the year live on Kelly and Ryan show.
Wow, bro.
We ain't done.
Let's go.
You can see my guy on WJZ News performing for one of the best teams in the world.
I seen that.
Ravens.
Yeah.
I see that.
For sure.
Hands out, man. Come on now. The resume speaks for itself.
For sure.
Facts.
The resume speaks for itself, man. And just sitting back, just listening to both of y'all, like, y'all both deserve flowers, man. I appreciate it, the way that you guys took charge into making sure that y'all showed each other love, you feel me, showed each other, graciousness and gratefulness, because we don't really do that too many times in our life. Sometimes it's good. You never know what a person really going through, whether on the outside is looking like they got everything together and everything looking good for them. A lot of people still be having dark times, man. And everything ain't peaches and cream, you feel me, or cookies and cream or whatever. It ain't none of that fruity stuff, you feel me?
Absolutely.
Like the fruit snacks and all of the, the pretty stuff. It ain't like that all the time. So sometimes you never know how you can impact that person, you feel me? Like, I was having a great day, but I'm having an even better day just hearing how y'all were just validating each other off of the accomplishments that y'all feel like y'all made. So I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all doing that, man, because that's what I'm all about. That's what this podcast is all about, giving each other a platform to be able to do the things that we don't always necessarily be able to do on a regular daily basis. This we definitely about mental health on here. We definitely about self-love and self-care, and all of the things that make you the best person that you can be, whether you be the best son, the best dad, you get what I'm saying, the best husband, boyfriend, whatever. So
Facts.
just wanted to throw a couple of accolades out there, man. You doing the damn thing, bro. You doing the damn thing, and I'll be proud because this how I promote you. I'll be like, yo, you gotta watch this video. And then when people watch it, he going crazy, I'll be like, that's my friend. I know him. That's my friend. I actually know him.
No, that I know. This is how I know when somebody in the best scene make it. If my mother send me videos, that's really how you know. That's how you know. She seen me dance all my life, but she wants to send me Uncle Grandpa videos. I'm like, Ma, I was in Vegas with him. I know him. Like she's sending them to me like I don't know who he is. Of course, he crazy leg just like we crazy leg the same way. So of course I know him.
That's crazy, man.
That's how I know you made it. She sent me you and Terry.
That's funny. That is so funny, man. I get that a lot from mothers, yo. I really do. No lie. Like I went to a few weeks ago, I went out to Jersey to American Dream Mall and everything, and a whole family flagged me down. And it wasn't even the kids that spotted me. It was the father, grown man, and said, hey, you Uncle Grandpa from TikTok, ain't you? I was like, yes, sir, I am. He said, hey, can my family get a picture with you? I was like, all right, sure. And I just looked around and they just crowded all around me and everything. I was like, wow. So at the most part, I kind of feel I understand when people call me famous in a lot of ways from just my humble nature. I'm like, nah, I'm not there yet. But in moments like that, it made me think, okay, maybe they might be telling some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? Because anytime you go to a whole different town or a different city and somebody's like pointing you out or yelling out your name and everything, you definitely are ringing bells. So it's always a surreal feeling for real. Like I never expected.
I had that experience one time in my life, and that was when like I was at the peak of the performance era as far as like doing the music. When I went to Cali, yo, the whole opposite side of the world.
Yeah.
It looked like I just did a fusion just now. the whole opposite side of the world. This is my first time having a show where I actually can go to the club an hour or two earlier and see my name say like Mason performance tonight live and all that. So that was my first time ever seeing that. So being able to see that and then being able to have people walk up to me, it was like, you Mason, right? You feel me? Like, I was like, yes, I am. I am.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it was like, yo, can we take a picture? Bro, I signed a titty, bro.
Yo,
that's
when you know that's a personal accomplishment.
Oh, I didn't even want to accomplish that in life. That wasn't even on the list.
Definitely an accolade, a major accolade. That's wild.
Yo, that's like that was the best feeling. I had people like really like I can feel, you can feel the difference when somebody like really hug you and they just taking a picture or like barely trying. These people would take a picture like how all us would take a picture like, yo, come on, bro. You feel like,
yeah.
That was the only time I felt that. So I can understand. And yours is probably way more like on a bigger level and more consistent level. So I definitely can understand how you probably looked at it like, all right, hold on. This something a little different.
Man, true story. I'm a real talk. True story. Not too long ago, a friend of mine reached out to me and was like, I need you to come to my school, St. Michael's Elementary School. And it was around Black History Month time. We're going to do a whole segment. We're going to do a whole presentation on you. We want you to perform after that. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went there, you know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because I sat off in the cut trying to be, all out of everybody's way and everything. And the kids is just like, oh my gosh, he's here, he's here, he's here, he's here. These little kids are waving, getting all up excited, jumping up and down, and everything. When they had this little girl, she must have been at least 10 years old, walked to the middle of the gymnasium floor. They pulls down this big old projector screen and they show the YouTube video of the live with Ryan and Kelly when I was identified as the winner of the whole competition and everything. And once they called my name and had the little video of Uncle Grandpa dancing and everything, like they went nuts, screaming and hollering and stomping on the floor, on the bleachers. And I'm looking around like, yo, they going nuts.
Right.
And then the girl gave a whole presentation. Like she ran down everything, where I was from, what I was doing, how many followers I had, this, that, and the third. And he's from our state, this, that, and third. And I was just like, they talking about me.
Right.
Like it's like an out of body experience, you know what I'm saying? And I was just so humble and so touched when they were talking about me. I was like, yo, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it at the same time, it's exciting for me, but it's very humbling because I know for so many years, this is what I've aspired to be. This is what I've aspired and I've always tried to work towards. So now that it's here, I feel like at this stage in my life, I think it was just years of preparation and just being humbled by God himself before I was able to accept this type of notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Because if he had given it to me in my 20s and 30s, I probably wouldn't know how to handle it, to be honest.
Facts.
It would have probably went to my head, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's just it's more inspiration, you know what I'm saying? It's more to reach the next person, and more than anything, what really inspires me is when I get random messages from people saying, your videos make me smile and I was having a bad day, or I'm going through something and you made me laugh, or what you're doing is inspiring. Keep doing what you're doing. Getting messages like that is everything to me because it lets me know that, you know what I'm saying, my presence is being felt and I'm changing the world. I'm inspiring the next person. I'm touching the next person, you know what I'm saying, whether they're an hour away from me or hundreds of thousands of miles away from me, but I'm impacting people in a positive way. And that's powerful to me.
Yeah, that's one of the best feelings. Like I feel like all genuine people on this earth yearn that feeling right there. And it don't necessarily gotta be that same exact way, but I feel like just knowing that you made an impact in at least one other person's life, it just make you feel like you accomplished something great. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not something light. That's something that's like way on your heart. You feel me?
It does, and I feel like that's the type of thing that's going to transition when our judgment day comes. Like your good deeds. What did you do to contribute to the next person while you were here? You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna matter how much money we had or anything like that. I think it's gonna be what was your mark on this world? What kind of mark did you leave on this world before God calls you home? Or, whatever, whomever you know what I'm saying, go by your higher calling or whatever. Me personally, I rule with Christ. So at the end of the day.
Oh, I did not. I'm so sorry. That was a legit cough. I'm so sorry. That was bad timing.
Yeah. The funny part is, not to cut y'all off, the funny part is nobody was going to think that, but I knew you was going to do that, bro. I'm sorry, yo. Just the type of person you is. I ain't think that, and I'm pretty sure Uncle Grandpa ain't think you was coughing at that either.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But I think that's just it, man. Like we need to be on this earth to serve some type of purpose, you know what I'm saying? Whatever gift or skill that God has given us, we need to be able to pay it back, you know, to pay it forward and give him his glorious due from it. Because ultimately, that's the one that deserves the flowers more than anything. So to be able to entertain and to reach hundreds of thousands and potentially millions of people's in a day, that ain't nothing but God, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful every day that I have breath to breathe to do it again.
Absolutely.
Respect. And I definitely want to jump into these topics, man. The conversation's been so genuine. We ain't even touched none of the topics yet. Shout out to everybody in the live comment section too. I'm gonna read a couple of things from the live comments that people were saying.
This should be interesting.
Yeah, Uncle Grandfather, New Era 410 is up. You're walking in your purpose, Uncle Grandpa. And shout out to Amor, our other co-host. She'll be joining us later on today as well. She the one that said you're walking in your purpose. Couple people that. Just, you know, people on here just saying salute, showing a little bit of love. Shout out to everybody that's joining. But this first topic that I wanna get into is the award for best virtual dancer of the year, live with Kelly and Ryan show. Like, tell us about that experience and how it came about, how you felt before you performed or before you went on a show and received the award. Like, just give us some nuggets on that, man.
I'm gonna be all the way honest with you. I was not thinking about no live with Ryan and Kelly. It wasn't even a forethought. It was due to a good friend of mine. Shout out to Amy Horn, one of my fellow classmates that I recently graduated from grad school with. And she was like, I guess she's a frequent watcher of Live with Ryan and Kelly, and she spotted this contest that was going on where everybody would submit a video to try to compete for like the dancer of the week, and the prize for it was like maybe $1,000 and maybe one of these electronic little robot toys or something like that. So she was like, I think that you should submit one of your Uncle Grandpa videos to this competition and see what happens. So I was like, for real? She was like, yeah, you should do it. So all right. So I was just fooling around and made me a video and just submitted it. And I said, okay. And I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of gave them what I thought was going to be good, just a little something, and was done with it. So the competition started, weeks went past, and I was like following the results and everything. And I was doing all right with the views and everything, but you could also see the results of everybody else that was competing at the same time. And it was like two people that had more views than me. So I was like, all right, it's a wrap. You know, I'm gonna leave it where it's at. It was cool, it was fun, but I just kind of let that go out of my mind. So I was just mentally checked out from there on. And then, you know what I'm saying, weeks later, I want to say maybe a month or two later, I got one of the producers of the show reached out to me and was like, congratulations, you're one of the finalists. I said, finalists for what? Finalists for what? Wait, what are you talking about? For the virtual best dancer of the year. Saying what now? I thought that was over with. No, there was two categories. There was one where they choose the best dancer over the weeks period, and then they would choose the categories for like the best one over the entire year. So you're one of the finalists for the best dancer of the year. I was like, what? Okay.
That's
all
super.
right. Okay, so you don't have to do anything next. We will be in contact with you shortly, and probably in another week or so, we're going to set up a virtual Zoom with you, and we'll go from there. All right, so I got that, stamped it in the back of my brain, and I was like, okay, I'm a finalist. Still didn't think nothing. You know, I thought it was just one of them things where, okay, they gave me a little notoriety, pat on the back, keep it pushing. And then the week comes, they reach out to me again and was like, okay, we want to schedule the Zoom meeting with you this afternoon, such and such. Now, I'm in the middle of my internship / job at that point in time. So I'm like, how am I going to finesse this? Because I don't want to get in trouble, but I don't want to say no to this either, just in case I'm winning, you know?
Right.
So I talked to my my little supervisor and everything, and I'm letting her know like I need to slide off for a minute to do this little Zoom meeting in the back office. And she's like, all right, cool. You ain't gonna make no noise, blah, blah, blah. So I did that. And come to find out, they didn't tell me until that interview. They was like, just so you know, you're no longer a finalist, you actually won. I said, what? You're kidding. So there's like, when they count down, next thing you know, the screen is black, you know what I'm saying? And then they start counting down 10-9 all the way to 1, and then boom, Kelly and Ryan pops up on my screen. And I was like, say, whoa, hold up, wait. There's like, yeah, we weren't going to just, we wanted to surprise you. I said, well, picture me. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. So I literally sat back and listened to the recording that they had already queued and set up where my name was announced as the winner. And then I seen the video and everything, and they showed it back to me. They said, this work for you? I was like, yes, it does. It works. Right. It works very, very well. So they said, all right, so here's what we about to do. We're about to go live, like live. The show is going to be live, and we're going to have you here, and we're going to ask you this, that, and the third. And I was like, this is really happening.
Wow. Bless him.
I'm trying to tell you, man, like it was hard for me not to get choked up in the moment, but it was so cool to actually have dialogue between the two. Because you look on TV and you see them, but then to actually be talking to them and they're responding back to you was crazy for me. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it more than anything, it really boosts my confidence saying that, okay, if I can make it to a stage like this, there's no place that I'm afraid to go or afraid to take a step to try to get my foot through the door. I mean, next up, you might catch me on Good Morning America.
Right. Hopefully.
I'm waiting.
I'm not stopping now. I'm not stopping. So they didn't kind of pour the lighter fluid on the flame. I'm hot with it now. So sky's the limit.
Yeah. So I want to ask about like I seen you on WJZ a few different times.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, like, give us the details on that and how that came about, because you know that's Baltimore right there. They showing the Ravens, and that's our team. You feel me? Shout out to the Patriots, you feel me, for my guy Neil. You get what I'm saying? But you know, Baltimore, you feel me? Like that's all Baltimore culture right there. You feel me? So how did that come about, and what was that like for you?
How did that come about? Well, to be honest with you, I hope I don't butcher her name up too much. The legendary Denise Koch, coach. She had been communicating with me off and on throughout the football season and everything, because she's seen some of my videos and everything. And I know that she had been, she'd been dealing heavily with TSU and everything. So I said, I want to try to get on there to do an interview with you and everything. I know you got stuff going on with TSU and everything. I don't want to step on nobody's toes. And she said, I'm going to see what I can do for you. And she put me in connections to a producer and everything. And they reached back through emails and everything. And before I knew it, it was like, yeah, we would love to have you. And the first time I did it was, a little closer to home. And once I'd actually met the news anchors there, Tim and Cena, she was like, oh, you got to come back. You got to come back to the station and show us some moves. And I was like, say when. Whenever you guys want me to come, I will come through. And, it took a little bit of time and communications and everything. But once we stamped it and I got the green light, I say, yeah, I will be there prompt on time and we're going to have a good time with it. And the rest is history. So I'll probably get to go another time or two.
Right.
Hey Neil, let me ask you a
Yes.
question. Being Baltimore club, I say is Empire okay? Like Empire, and let's just use for lack of better words. You feel me? You have made a stamp in the Baltimore club culture, right?
Right.
So when
Sure,
you
pioneer, legend, pick one.
yeah, so when you see a fellow friend of ours or a fellow competitive dancer or whatever you want to call him, when you see him accomplish all of these things, what was your genuine feeling? And when was it when you felt like, oh, he really make it?
Man, I think the biggest I seen that ties. I mean, Uncle. I'm so sorry. I seen that
Nope.
Uncle Grandpa.
He is him. I am him. Yep.
I see that Uncle Grandpa's mind. Well, let's just say this. I seen Ty switch to Uncle Grandpa. I seen the mentality shift. It was probably around like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was probably around like 16, 17,
Mhm.
2016, 17. I seen a whole mentality switch. The Baltimore club culture, like he said, especially around this time, was very underground, right? And you had to make a name for yourself. You just had to do it. You basically wasn't trying to get relative. The main focus wasn't trying to get respect from people that was outside of the Baltimore club scene. You was trying to get respect from people inside the club scene. Let's just say first, right?
Yeah.
And then something clicks in you, which I literally seen that switch in Uncle Grandpa, where it was like, well, that mentality is getting me nowhere, right? It's we're battling each other, which is for camera reasons, for camera purposes, it's great because when you battle someone in our scene, you're gonna come away with some great footage for YouTube or Facebook or IG, right? Which is a good plus, but that's one of the only pluses we have. I seen I seen Uncle Grandpa ask himself, what am I really gaining from that? I need to figure out what I can gain from this. And it can't and then long behold, social media, let's just say specifically TikTok, took took his took Uncle Grandpa to the next level of not just stardom, but it also challenged his dance move. His dance moves got better in my eyes. I'm just gonna say what it is. Like it's almost as if that was the push that he needed to do something different that he was not really doing before. Which and like I told you before, it was the consistency, right? And that's when I let's just say the airport video is when I was like, okay, he figured it out. He figured it out. But I'll also say in that same while I just said everything that I said, I want to talk about the state of Baltimore club music, um, specifically the um underground world. The underground world is done now. There's no more that world that we came from where you kind of had to prove to your peers that you were good. Let's just say that was the training
Yeah.
part of it where it was just like, let's just call it old school where you have to really figure out who you are and what you want to do in this dance world. If you do not do that, then you are damn near nothing,
Mhm.
right?
Obsolete.
And yeah, but TikTok crushed that world. It's
Mhm.
gone. completely gone. So
never to come back.
And if you are not like a Todd, Uncle Grandpa, or a Terry or a TSU, or if you're not grabbing on to social media right now, right, then the dancer in you is going to question, what am I doing? Where am I at right now? I'm just kind of floating in space right now. Not me specifically, because um let's just say that I'm still a undergrounder by heart, right? So I'm more of the question of who am I without social media is I'm Neil. But a lot of people don't come to that conclusion. Like, a lot of people have to grab on to what social media is like what social media can provide for you, right? Nowadays, I post a video. If I make a video, I got almost probably like 150 videos of me dancing in my phone. And what I do is I'll just go through them and I'll just post it because I like it. But I don't care how many views it gets. I don't care how many likes it gets. But that's just because I've proven myself in the underground world. Now that underground world is gone, this is where I'm at now, you know? So I respect people. I respect dancers. Speaking from an underground dancer by heart, I respect people that have latched on to the Baltimore club. No, the TikTok Baltimore club era on TikTok. I respect it. I respect it highly. But for the people that miss, let's just say specifically miss the underground gritty of it,
Man,
right?
boy, that was a time.
I understand that too, right? I understand that feeling too. You know what I mean? Like I said on the page today, the King of Baltimore was posted. He's got a date for it.
Yep.
Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's saying nothing. Back in 2011, if Eve would have posted the King of Baltimore,
page going crazy.
Everybody, let's just say the undergrounders are going crazy. That's all we're talking about. That's all we're practicing for. That's all we're doing. It consumed us. Nobody's saying it's a different era. It's a different time. I like I said, I respect Uncle Grandpa for grabbing on to what times are right now. And like I said before, consistency, discipline, and let's just say creativeness and passion. I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's facts. Because those times, like you said, those times I can definitely consider those to be the training times, because that's when you really got it out the mud. And you know what I'm saying? You had to step on some heads in order to be recognized as one of the tough ones, as one of the nice ones, as one of the ones that, you know, was nothing to play with. You had to earn your recognition.
And somebody in the go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna mention somebody in the comments. Shout out to Mac. He said, not the Mac we thinking about. He said fights happened leading up to the King of Baltimore's back then. Like that's how intense it was. You know, it was really that serious. Like he started brewing and everything. He right though. He definitely
He is for sure.
And it was
rivalries built up off of that.
Don't y'all know how it was that period in time where this is where I feel like I'm at with the whole Baltimore club scene. Don't you know how it was like a period of time where in hip hop, the old heads started hating on the younger guys instead of realizing that this is the new wave? I'm one of the older guys that never hated on it. I seen it coming, and I'm like, I'm cool with this because it kind of tailored more to the way I used to do it anyway. The flipping around, the ground moves, the extravagant. I was all about performance. You feel me? Like I love performing, and that's what make Uncle Grandpa one of my favorite performers because he always could perform. You feel me? Like so. Once I seen you adapting, like the piggyback off of what Neil was saying, once I seen you adapting to how the culture just constantly kept changing, but it didn't, like, you see the people that die off with it. You see
Yeah.
that people die off with it, or some people just stop, like myself, will just stop. When I continuously still keeping up with every single thing that was going on, and you was on top of most of the social medias and everything before everybody else was kind of like really like, this is what we need to be doing. That's when I kind of was like, oh yeah, he definitely on.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this something, because I'm doing a bunch of stuff and I'm not even thinking about TikTok. I'm not even thinking about, I'm only on Instagram, you feel me? Or Facebook is usually just to keep you communicated with a bunch of people you grew up with and went to school with and family and all that. So I never really looked at it as this is an opportunity to make money and really blow up.
Right.
But you so many times, but you never think about taking that route yourself. So once I seen that, I was just like, yeah. And then you just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. Still going to this day. And the accomplishments that you accomplish, you feel me? Just like, I know you saying you got so much more that you want to accomplish, but sometimes we just got to be able to just take one or 2 minutes and just sit back and pat yourself on a freaking back, you feel me, of the accomplishments that you did accomplish, because you made some big accomplishments. And I'm like that myself, you feel me? Like, it'd be a lot of things where people had to tell me like, bro, you did a lot of stuff, bro. Like, just because you're not where you at, don't mean, you feel me, like you ain't, accomplish some things. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes just now just to be able to say that to you and just bask in the ambiance, my friend. You feel me? Like, remember where you started from, and the grinds and the times where you felt like you wanted to give up, or you was like, man, this might not be it, or you questioned yourself. Man, all them times right now make you who you are today, bro. So just bask in it. You get what I'm saying? Like, really appreciate yourself. You feel me? Make sure, this is the self-love and self-care part of the episode. Shout out to self-love and self-care and mental.
No, right. True.
I mean, so just want to, you give yourself that love and that credit, bro, because you work very hard and you deserve everything that you have accomplished and that you're going to accomplish in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you're right. You definitely right. Like, looking back from where I started up until this point, it's definitely been some huge strides. And it's definitely been a lot of moments where, I actually questioned myself in, is it time for me to hang them up? Is it time for me to just take a step back? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I ever going to get the proper respect for, saying that recognition, that Hall of Fame status that, I see so many people in front of me get? And at the same time, I try not to measure my accolades to theirs, but it's like, I've been here just as long, doing just as much. It's just more so under the scenes that's not being looked at. You know what I'm saying? I created my own movement from scratch. You know what I'm saying? I embraced not only the people that I recruited, but I embraced individuals that were in solidified dance groups already, you know what I'm saying, and embrace them like family myself. I would open my doors to them when I had rec spots, you know what I'm saying, creating opportunities, setting up battles, setting up group battles, individual battles, my contributions to, battlegrounds and all that. And I was like, well, at some point in time, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get my props. And in a way, I get them, but it's more low-key swept under the rug than spoken out loud. You know what I'm saying?
And genuine love.
Exactly. So it's here and there, and that's always something that, I paid close attention to since day one, since from the beginning when I first started my own mission of just getting my name out there and earning the respect, not just stepping into a big boy circle, just knowing that I'm me. Stepping into the big boy circle, looking around and saying, okay, it's Ty's turn. So I know he gonna kill it. You know what I'm saying? And versus who is this kid in the middle with this cardigan on and these shoes and all of that? You know what I'm saying? I've come a long way since then, and I just felt like with my age played a huge part in my success because I really tried to stay away from allowing my ego to swell. You know what I'm saying? Thinking like I'm better than most, or I should be spoken in this category with this genre of dance or this style of dance, try not to get caught up in those conversations because it was really hard over the years. But bringing me to this point where I am now, where it's most appreciated, is the fact that all of that mattered, but it doesn't carry any weight, because even if I wasn't mentioned or will be mentioned as one of the greats or anything like that, what does it transcend to? You know what I'm saying? How does it impact the next generation? You know what I'm saying? And I can honestly say that I'm impacting the next generation by letting them know that dancing doesn't have an age limit. It's all in what you want to put to it and what you want to contribute to it and your ideas, and not accepting anybody else's label, but creating your own at the same time.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely shout out to everybody on the live chat. Wanted to read a couple of the comments. Some Max said, I say black man from 5 fights. Shout out to Jonesy. He said, I remember his post when he decided to go all the way with it. Definitely got somebody that's been following you from the beginning. That's
crazy. Appreciate
it. People that seen the transition, man. There's people that know the transition for real. That's really important. I feel like those people that have been with you since you were tied to Uncle Grandpa now are really important, right? Like those are your lifers.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? So people that seen the transition, and not only that, but like I said before, I think that the mentality should be highlighted when it comes to transitioning like that, because it takes a lot of self-will to be able to be like, well, I'm a dancer, but I'm actually going to take what I do seriously to go to the next level. And the next level was the social media thing, right? So like, I think the mentality definitely needs to be highlighted when talking about that, only because like it's a lot of people out here that don't know creatively what to do with themselves, right? Like they don't know they're like how many NBA players have you grown up with that you've seen on the court and they just was just like, this is where I'm gonna live? Or how many dancers? Well, I can name over 100 dancers that I've met in Baltimore club that just came in and out of my life, like came in and out of the scene, and they were so talented, like, and like, but they were just kind of like, the mentality was just like, this is where it stops for me. I can't take it to the next level. Mentally, I just can't do it, right? Because it's like, I honestly think that Baltimore club style should be seen as a very serious style of dancing, right? But nobody that and this is really deep, nobody that actually does Baltimore club dancing sees it as a actual dance style. You understand what I'm saying? Like a style that should be up there with like that's competing in like world competitions and stuff like that.
Exactly, like crumping, popping.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we got all this talent. We have all this talent, right? And mentally, it stops with the dancer. Like the dancer and the producer make the style. Like, and if your mentality is not to take it to the next level, however that looks, like with you, it was taking it from where you were to another place with TikTok, which is fantastic. Or another situation is battling. We were like, with me, let's just say with me, I was battling on a level in Baltimore that was high in Baltimore, but like it can also be high in other places, like, you know what I mean?
Yep,
But
absolutely.
the mentality to try to take it to the next level is usually lost in translation in Baltimore. So I just want to highlight the mentality to take it to the next level.
You definitely have to have a mindset. You have to have a mindset to think outside the box and to think you gotta become comfortable with being uncomfortable, trying something different, or taking what you know and applying it to an area that's not familiar with it and really build yourself up from that. Because that's the real challenge. You know what I'm saying? To be able to take your style of dancing and go somewhere else and make them respect it,
Understand it.
understand it. Exactly. So when people see it, they're like, whoa, what is that?
Right.
How do you do that? I want to learn how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the fun. That's the fun thing. That
Love
is the fun aspect of it. And then to have a mindset where, you know, you want to share it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the good gospel. You know what I'm saying? You want to spread the gospel to the world so that, you know, somebody else can get excited about it or as excited as you are about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been doing it all your life. So how you think the next person that doesn't know a thing about it might feel if they can actually learn and replicate that and make it their own. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful thing. It's a powerful instrument, a tool to use.
Yes, absolutely.
And fellas, I know sorry, I'll let you go, Neil. My bad. But I just wanted to say real quick, fellas, I know it probably don't feel like it, but we already at our 1 mark. Yeah,
Yep.
1 hour mark. You feel
That-
me? So we take that time every show to appreciate our guests that's on here at our 1 hour mark. Appreciate our my co-host, you feel me, Neil, Uncle Grandpa, you get what I'm saying? And we
Yes,
always
sir.
take time to show love to the people that's actually on the live stream with us and read some of the comments. Social media path takes a tunnel vision type consistency, especially in the dance category. Remaining creative and keeping that energy. Baltimore has one of the most unique forms of dance, swag, and rhythm.
Mhm.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Definitely. And I want to jump into another topic. And Neil, feel free, you feel me, to start any of your topics when you want to. Well, this next topic don't really have too much to deal with what we specifically was talking about, but I want to talk about this Titanic incident with the people with the I think 1 billionaire and a bunch of other people trying to go down to see the remains of the Titanic, and rest in peace, they all lost their lives due to not being able to communicate and running out of oxygen and no one being able to recover them. But I want to get your opinion on that, man. That's definitely a sad thing that happened in this world recently. That's not the only thing that happened in this world that I actually want to speak on too. But for right now, I want to get your opinions on this specific topic.
Uh it's it's hard it's that's a heartbreaking story, man. That's a heartbreaking story. Well, first of all, you're not gonna convince me personally to go down there. You're not gonna convince me to do it. Because if you can't showcase that, show that to me on TV, then I don't want no parts of it. Me personally, I don't engage in the deep depths of the water, the ocean, whatever you want to call it. Nah, that's never been my cup of tea. But for those that lost their lives, they were bold. I'll say that to say the least. They were bold. I don't know if they contemplated the possibility of them losing their lives that day when it happened, but that was a huge gamble. It's a huge gamble. I don't know if it was just for thrills or for the history or you know whatever personal reasons they decided to engage in that activity, but it's sad, you know what I'm saying? I know because those individuals, they have family, they have people that care about them, and they're going and then they're not coming back. And I can't imagine what that moment would be like when you are literally staring death in the eye and there's no place you can go, you can't run, and you're losing your wind, you're losing your air, and there's people around you that's suffering the same fate. That's a scary way to go, man. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Good for
But,
sure.
man, I've been processing this whole thing. I really don't have too much to say about the actual event itself. It's a tragedy, you know what I mean? Just I think you covered everything, Uncle Grandpa, with like, I wouldn't go down there. But I'm just gonna keep it a stack with you. Like, we gotta talk about social media, yo. Like, we gotta talk about social media. Like I posted something today that said, and I'm sorry if y'all feel like this is dark or whatever, but I kind of like how social media don't really take nothing too serious, because it makes me feel like everything is gonna be okay at the end of the day, right? Like everybody was I was seeing mixed reviews about like people making jokes about it, right? And when I had of course a couple comedians, right? Of course, DC Young Fly just lost Jackie O, and then I follow this one
Rest in
comedian
peace.
named is Tony Baker, right? Tony Baker, he lost his son in a car crash, and at the funeral, he's up there, and it's almost like he's doing a set, like he up there cracking jokes at his son's funeral, right? And I heard a podcast about him talking about it. He was just like, I simply wanted everybody that came to my son's funeral to know that it's gonna be okay with laughter. Like it's gonna be everything's gonna be fine, Like, you know, I know these are tough times, but so we have social media right now to kind of like lighten the mood, because honestly, we all saying the same thing about it. It's a tragedy. Like, we wouldn't go down there. We get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand, but like like I seen this meme that said underneath it, please please connect the controller with the submarine picture. That's that type stuff like that. That makes me chuckle, man. It makes me chuckle. It makes me laugh. And I'm not ashamed to say that it makes me laugh. I'm sorry that they passed away. I'm not laughing at their death, but, and I will never laugh at anybody's death in general. Like, that's not funny. I understand that. But at the same time, submarine getting controlled by a controller is funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Like that's it's funny. Like it's messed up that's funny, but it's funny. Like that's the only thing I'm gonna say about it. And God rest those people's soul. I think that, and I hate to bring up this very sensitive topic as well. Dying in that way is the same way that kind of Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, and Gigi died as
Yeah.
well, where you can see it coming and there's nothing that you can do, right? And I think that those type of deaths are the worst types. But at the same time, how I process death in general is death is just a part of life, and where everyone's gonna die eventually. You know what I mean? I just hope that the only thing that I hope and pray is that you're not a child when it happens, right? Like, you lived a life. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, me personally, aside from the the whole, that like once again, rest in peace to all of them and condolences to all of the family members. But aside of that, the main thing I was kind of like stuck on the whole time was $250K to get on this thing. Like that was one thing that kind of threw me off. Like I'm not about to pay $250K unless I know that Elon Musk and them help create this, and it's going to be 30 different ways of preventing if something go wrong. That's my only problem with this thing is that how didn't y'all have a backup to y'all backup's backup? You get what I'm saying? It should have been. They lost communication an hour and 45 minutes into going down there, bro. That's not enough time. That's in my opinion, that's horrible technology. Like, what in an hour and 45 y'all lose connection?
Yeah, sorry.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and they only had like 90 hours all together or something of oxygen. Right. So it just, that by itself was just like y'all ain't had no contingency.
Abort mission. Abort.
Like, even if I was like a daredevil and I wanted to get on there, I'm thinking about, all right, what happens if this controller dies, or what happens if we lose connection with y'all? Like, what is our contingency plans? Because unless I'm just not hearing about them or I'm just not knowing about them, it seemed like once they lost connection, it was like no hope.
Mm-hmm. Done deal.
Because obviously they couldn't get themselves back up. All right, peace out, Neil. Appreciate you being on here, man.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all finish that genuine conversation.
For sure. Yeah, I just ain't understand why they didn't have a bunch of contingency plans and stuff like really, set up and everything for if anything go wrong. That was the only thing that was kind of, weird to me about it though. But
especially with that type of money you throwing around.
You would think that they would have it all together based off of just the type of money they was asking for.
Man, look, that's a lot of money. People nowadays may never see that amount of money in their lifetime, and they utilize that. In retrospect, you can almost look at it like they kicked out an arm and a leg to die.
That's what it felt like. That's exactly.
And that's sad. Like. That's sad. That's really sad.
Yep, $250,000.
Woo, man.
When you look at it in them words. On a lighter note, I do want to talk about your NFL team and how you feeling about your NFL team and how you feeling about the players, the new offensive coordinator, the newly signed franchise quarterback Lamar Jackson that's going to be with us for the next 5 years.
Let's go.
Talk to me about this, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna let you have it.
I'm beyond excited. And when it was this whole media scare about, I'm saying that they're gonna lose him, this, that, and the third, I was never wavered. I was not shook by it because I knew, just like dated way back to draft night when he was that last pick, how serious it was for him and how much of a chip he had on his shoulder that night when he said, they're going to get everything out of me. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'm a Raven. And I knew from that point he wanted
a Super Bowl out of me.
You're going to get one. You're going to get one. And I still believe that once they did what they're doing now, it's on. Mm-hmm. It is on. And I'm stamping it right now like I would hate to be an opponent of the Ravens this season. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. Offensively and defensively, it's going to be problems because they already lining everything up real nice, and it's still probably some pieces that they're shuffling and putting in the mix as we speak throughout this off season, and we looking good on paper. Getting our boys back healthy. I'm trying to tell you, watch out for J.K. Dobbins. He gonna be a monster this season, and I cannot wait. I can't wait to see what OBJ gonna do.
Yeah. Speaking of J.K. Dobbins, did you hear about what he's doing? He's kind of like doing like a hold in because he won a contract. So
Yeah.
he's been at mini camp, but he hasn't been practicing and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would love for us to keep J.K. Dobbins. Like, that's not even an option in my mind for us to not have him. You feel what I'm saying?
Seriously. I was a huge fan of him coming in from OSU, you know what I'm saying? Just his body of work and everything. I was like, yo, he gonna be a problem, an absolute problem. And last season, you know, when he came back from his injury, you could see the glimpses of him trying to get back his swag and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And there was one play, I forgot what team it was. I think it was the Steelers. And he found a hole, broke through that bad boy. He broke off. And I was like, oh my God, I could tell that he wasn't all the way 100% because the 100% JK, they would
That
not
was
have
touchdown.
caught him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
touchdown.
exactly. That was a touchdown. You would not have ran him down. He was gone. It would have been bye-bye. But because he was still trying to feel himself out and probably had self-doubt in the back of his mind once he broke off, like, oh, snap. Like, let me push it, but I don't want to push it to the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was just excited for that play alone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with everybody coming back healthy, Rashad Bateman, JK, Gus, especially Gus.
Gus been looking good too.
Yeah, I feel like, man, they're gonna give them boys, they're gonna give teams work. And I can't wait for when we face the Bengals. Of course, I can't wait for when we face the Steelers. Who else?
The Browns. The whole
Definitely
division.
the Browns. Definitely the Browns. But even more so the Bengals, because now because the Bengals got their little bit of success and making it to the Super Bowl and everything. So now society says they're the team to beat, you know what I'm saying, in the North. And I disagree.
I disagree too.
I disagree 100%. Now, mind you, they do have an outstanding wide receiver core and everything. But guess what? Now we do too. So,
right.
So it's gonna be a whole different thing when you put a 100% healthy Lamar Jackson on the field with a strong core wide receivers and you got a strong backcourt. Then on the other side, and I ain't forgot about, you know what I'm saying, our tight end. Andrews gonna do what he do. But then you flip it to the defensive side of the ball. Whew, man, listen. Got all pro Marlowe.
All pro Marlowe. He ain't give a touchdown up all last season.
Lockdown. Ain't nobody talking about it. Locked down. I can't wait, man. Queen. We got the new guy, Raquan. And he already put the stat. He said, I'm trying to tell you, we want all the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
We want all the smoke. So it's gonna be payback sandwiches. We just slapping people with all season long. I can't listen. In all honesty, I can see us losing at least bare minimum 2 to 3 games. 2 to 3 games. I'm feeling like this is going to be 2019 plus a little change.
I feel
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
I feel that too.
And they better not mess around and let us be able to pick up D-Hop.
Yeah.
They better not mess around and let us be able to get D-Hop. If they let us get D-Hop, it's over.
It's a wrap.
It is over for anybody that want to see us on either side of the ball. Period.
Because you got Rashad Bateman, who is expecting to be healthy this year and play the whole season.
Yeah, he was dynamite when he was healthy.
Every time he was healthy, he was that guy. You feel me? Then we got OBJ, where I'm expecting him to play great. I'm not expecting him to have an average year. I'm expecting him to have a big season because he's due for one in a long time. He just got to stay healthy. And
Absolutely.
I think we're gonna find a way to keep him healthy, especially with us having a bunch of different options now. He don't gotta play every play. Because not only do you got OBJ and Rashad Bateman on one side, you got Zay Flowers over there with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely too.
Yes. And Likely definitely showed us a glimpse of, excellence, you know what I'm saying, in the season where he was doing his thing. I think that he could dominate. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Zay Flowers does.
I think he gonna be the like unicorn. We gonna see him everywhere. Well, I think we're gonna do jet sweeps with him. We're gonna do wide receiver screens. He's gonna be in motion a lot. He's gonna play the one. He's gonna play the slot. He gonna. I can see us throwing him back there, punt return, kick return, giving him a chance. Because I love Duvernay, you feel me? But I feel like Duvernay just got straight line speed. We need somebody that's gonna really be able to. You feel me?
Like, whiz, zig and zag. Yeah, we do need a zig and zag artist. We do need that for sure.
This is the first time in a while I've been excited for preseason because I want to see all the young guys play.
Absolutely. I'm on it. I'm so on it, man. I can't wait to see. That's where you find the real dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you see the real dogs that want it. Like, I'm here. You gonna acknowledge me. I'm here to do work. And anybody's in my way, I feel bad for you. You feel what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be a great season, and I feel like this roster that we're putting together is probably going to test the waters to be, if not better than 2019, but one of the great rosters that we put together in the past decade, for real.
Yeah, I think this just might be our best roster that we had.
Yeah.
In a long time. I still don't feel like this is the best defense we had. Because I don't think nothing gonna top that Super Bowl.
No.
I don't think no defense gonna top that. It was too
no. We was just too. The defense was so dominant that we could shut teams down and not even score a whole lot.
Kicking field goals. We was winning game by kicking 4 or 5 field goals
and just shutting them down. Take the ball back, kick field goal. Take the ball back, kick another field goal. Ball back. Before you know, we didn't kick about 4 or 5 field goals and held them to maybe 1 field goal, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
Smash them
football. Especially in the Super Bowl, we was dominant.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like comments is saying Ravens will be crazy on both sides of the ball this year. For sure.
For sure. Count on it.
And Lamar pissed. I ain't gonna lie. Even though Lamar got paid and all that, Lamar pissed, man. You feel me? And it's like that chip on the shoulder that you was talking about. So it's not like pissed in a negative way. He pissed because what else do he got to do to keep showing that he's himothy? He's him. You feel me? He didn't already broke so many records. Like what? I mean, all right, we granted he ain't win a Super Bowl yet. All right, that's coming. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that's the only thing that I feel like he didn't do, but I don't know why he still gets so much doubt and hate, bro. I really don't.
But here's my thing. Here's what fries my fish with him. People, when you talk about top 5 quarterbacks, how in the world are you going to mention Justin Herbert before Lamar?
Yeah. Ain't accomplished nothing.
What? Now, you get this much wiggle room as far as Joe Burrow, only because he made it to the Super Bowl, but he didn't complete the mission. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And he ain't got no unanimous MVP.
Yeah. And there's only one other person in the history of NFL that has the other unanimous MVP.
You know what I'm saying? So, in terms of quarterbacks, top three in my opinion. Top 3.
Who's the two? Who's the other two?
Who's the other two? Number 1, gotta give it to Mahomes. Mahomes is on the throne right now. He's on the throne right now. As much as I hate it, he's on the throne right now.
Yeah.
Second, and this is a toss-up. This is a heavy toss-up because because he'd been around for a minute, in my opinion, I feel like Aaron Rodgers still can hold that spot because he got him some rings. And I'm interested to see what he does with a whole refurbished team, a whole different coach, like he's starting from scratch. Yep. So I want to see what he can do because you took the GOAT, you took Brady, threw him into a whole nother situation from New England to the Buccaneers. He went over there and got himself a ring. So that's why he was goated. So now if he can go over to the Jets and turn them into a championship caliber team, then he deserves his accolades. You feel what I'm saying? And right behind him is Lamar. I think that's the only thing that separates him from the higher upper echelon. He's like right there. Right there. Just needed the pieces. You know what I'm saying? The pieces so that he can unlock his full potential. You know what I'm saying? Because since the moment he came into the league, it was always questioned, oh, he's just a running quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He can't throw, he can't do this, he can't do that. But the numbers say otherwise. Like, what y'all watching? Because I'm watching the same games. You feel what I'm saying? Don't sell that man short just because he's talented because of his legs and his arms. Like, he'll break you down either way. But the thing is, you still have to have the proper weapons in order to have that full arsenal. So they gotta respect you in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? To try, they can't figure you out. You know what I'm saying? And in 2019, he did more with less and still went crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now they feel like they got the blueprint on him and everything. It's not that y'all had the blueprint. It's that he had to exert himself in far more ways than he should as quarterback to get that W, to get the win. You know what I'm saying? Putting the team on his back solely, you know, off of his legs.
Holy Jesus.
Exactly, solely. And it's wear and tear after doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be real. If he break out on you, there ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah.
If he breaks out on you, it's a done deal. Just go ahead, kick it on. We're gonna go ahead and take the L on that.
You better hope he trip or something.
Exactly. Because that's the only way you stopping him. And he'd be laughing to himself if he tripped and fall. He's like, dang, I had that when I
right.
was going a little bit too fast there. But you know what I'm saying? I think this is the year that he's really going to shut the naysayers up and command everyone's respect. Not just what he can do with his legs, but with his arm too. Man, they better stop playing with my man.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same.
Stop playing with.
I feel the same way. I understand how people can have like a narrative that feels like not even that he can't throw, that he needs to work on it. Cause I feel like it is a bunch of throws that I'll be getting pissed off with him. I'll be like, come on, Lamar. Like he had a few throws that was open touchdowns the last couple years before he got hurt. That it's like, bro, you get these throws, bro, is nothing nobody can say, because these throws is literally what everybody holding on to. But can't say he can't throw in his MVP season. He led the league in touchdown passes. Like, come on now, that don't even make sense. You can't do that if you can't throw, bro. Like, we talking about in the same league with Tom Brady, with Pat Mahomes, with Aaron Rodgers, with Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? He's in a league with them, and he ain't been in the league not longer than none of them. And he threw more touchdowns than everybody that whole season. So it's like you can't say stuff like that when his MVP season, he already showed that he was better than any other quarterback at throwing touchdown passes.
Seriously. Other than Mahomes, I wouldn't want to go against him.
Yeah, for sure. And if you think about it, Mahomes and them don't never blow us out. They blew us out probably one time in Lamar's career, like early on. Every game, the last time we played them, they had to beat us in overtime. It was 27-24.
Yep, facts.
You feel me? They always, and then remember that one time they beat us when they had that lucky fourth down play with Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
So it's like, I'm not scared of Kansas City, because every time we play them, they barely beat us. If they
we hold them tough.
Too.
We hold
remember
them
we beat them with the Odafe Oweh, you feel me? Strip fumble. Yeah, so
absolutely, I agree. So then, even though they're the team to beat, I feel like we can beat them. We can beat the Bengals. And we can beat any other team that you put in front of us on any given night. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We put these pieces together, and it's gonna be something special. It's definitely gonna be something special. They better not let us get D-Hop. It's over. It's over. I'll be sitting here waiting on the day.
It's overkill.
This just in. Uh, Ravens just signed D-Hop to 1-year contract. That's all we need. That's it.
And if it happened, I don't know if you know, but it's been a lot of psychic readings on this show. Shout out to Tall Q. He had on a couple episodes ago, and shout out Spaz the Great on his episode.
Yeah.
Spaz the Great was talking about Boston, and Tall Q had a crazy outtake where he was like, Marcus Smart ain't got no defense. He trash. Boston should get rid of him. They should trade him. And Neil was on here too. He's a Boston fan. And we was like, whoa, he ain't got no defense. Like, bro, he was on a defensive team a couple times. All that, like,
defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I'm like, he got defense, bro. He was like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, they need to trade him. They gonna trade him. And now that it happened, everybody looking back at that video, like, wow. So we get D-Hop, you feel me? Like, you saying it right now. You saying it right now. So let's hope that the New Era 410 podcast, good luck for the Ravens and different things keep happening for us, man. We are into our last 30 minutes of the show, man. I just want to thank you for being on here. Appreciate you being open and telling us about some of your experiences and different things like that. I do want to jump back into a little more about yourself and things that you can let people know, like people that look up to you and then inspire to do what you do, or you just inspire them, period. Like, what do you say to those people?
First, funny quote that I used to hear on actually Kevin Hart says it. Everybody want to be famous, don't nobody want to put the work in. I feel like if you want to be great, if you want to be a star, if you want to excel or consider yourself at a high level of whatever it is you're striving to do, you have to be willing to put the work in. You have to be consistent, you have to be motivated, and you have to be determined, and you can't let anything or anyone stand in your way of that. Like total discipline. So that's what I would say to anybody striving to do what I do or pave their own way. And secondly, you got to be confident. It takes confidence to be me. It takes confidence to get out here and to randomly just break out a performance in front of total strangers, not knowing what to expect or how the end result is going to be. It takes confidence to do those things. And you can't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Scared money don't make no money. And when you bet on yourself, after putting in the work, it'll speak for itself and it'll show, you know what I'm saying? And no matter how long it takes, it might take you a couple of weeks, months, years before you hit that ceiling where you feel like, okay, now I'm making my mark, because I am a prime example of dancing for 20 plus years, you know what I'm saying? And always maintaining that same level of passion for what I do and the reason why I do it. Not only because I love it, but because it's so unique and it's something that you can pass on to the next person. But it's a form of positive energy, you know what I'm saying? And in a world that we live in, where there are so many things that we could talk about that are negative. We talk about mental health. We talk about abortions. We talk about murders. We talk about economics. We talk about the government, politics, all of these things that, you know, cause us stress. It's enlightening as well as rejuvenating to have something as simple as dancing and entertainment to reflect on, to let you know that, okay, there's something positive that I can get. There's something positive that I can take from this, or just by watching this, you know what I'm saying? And thus part of what drives me to do what I do is the fact that ever so often in the comment section of videos, when they go viral, there's a number of comments that's saying, thank you for doing this. You made me smile. This made my day. I love watching your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. You're inspiring me. This is motivating me to, to chase my dreams and to do all of that. So it further encourages me to continue to dig deep and to give more of myself creative wise to share with the world.
Yeah, definitely. And I like we talked about this earlier. I know that's like one of the greatest feelings, just feeling like people just you genuinely like affecting people in a positive way in their lives, and whether they having a bad day or they just genuinely just when they wake up in the morning, probably the first thing they do is they probably looking to go on your videos, start their day off with. So
Yeah, it's
I
man,
definitely
it's no greater feeling. It is absolutely a wonderful feeling when a total stranger hops in your inbox, your DM to tell you that you made their day because of the video that you made. They were having a hard time, they were feeling depressed, or they were feeling discouraged about something, and they looked at your video and it made them smile and it made them laugh, or just gave them a moment of comfort or entertainment, solace, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, and I thank God for every opportunity that I have to do that.
All right, so let me ask you this. What is and this is anything that you feel comfortable sharing with us. What are your goals with this? Like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Here we go. My goals. Okay. Long term, one of my long-term goals is reaching 1 million followers on TikTok. And as you stated earlier, I'm getting close. I'm almost close to that halfway mark of 500,000. Currently at 411 thousand followers, and just keep pushing it every day for my platform to grow and to prosper and to reach other people. And that's one thing. Another thing, like I said, the Ravens, to the Ravens organization, anyone that's connected to the Ravens organization, I want to be a part of the Ravens organization as an entertainer and someone that they can rely on to be there on the inside and the outside of the stadium at every home game and event, spreading my positive energy through dance. I want to get sponsored by them. That's a long-term goal. Sponsored, or just being a regular employee, however they slice it. You know what I'm saying? I would like to be affiliated officially with the Baltimore Ravens organization for entertainment purposes. That's another goal. Another goal that I have long term is national television. Even though I've appeared on TV shows, news, WBOC, WJZ, Delmarva Life, Live of Ryan Kelly show, I still feel like I have not reached that stage that reaches millions of people all in just one performance. And that's something that I'm striving for, something like America's Got Talent, or something big like that, because once upon a time, I auditioned to try to get on that show, and for whatever reason it hadn't worked out yet. The Apollo, I've auditioned videos for that, so I'm always striving to make my footprint a little bit deeper in the world of entertainment and social media and just television as a whole. The goal is to make Uncle Grandpa worldwide known. Like, you can never separate me from anybody else. Identity wise, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that there was a character that's on Cartoon Network that was aired years ago, back in maybe 2015, by the name of Uncle Grandpa, but he is not this, not by any means. And I want to make that abundantly clear that this is a totally different genre. It's a total different narrative. And, I stand by that and mostly proud of that, even though the name sounds familiar. That's why on my social media platforms, I always say Uncle Grandpa on one, so that you know that it's not the Uncle Grandpa, it's Uncle Grandpa on one, as if saying like Uncle Grandpa, he out here doing this thing, he on one. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the whole dialogue came from that. But yeah.
Pretty big goals, pretty big goals. I respect the goals. And it wasn't anything that you said that kind of made me be like, nah, that ain't gonna happen, or nah, I don't think you're gonna be able to do that. Everything you said, I kind of was like, all right, that should happen. There are a million, you're gonna get a million followers. Like it's just over time. Like it ain't nothing that you not doing or whatever. Like you literally doing everything the right way and you on the right path. So that's gonna happen. You already made a couple experiences on TV. So I feel like they're not gonna just stop. They're gonna get bigger and bigger the more and more you do. Everything that you continue to do is only gonna get better. Practice make perfect, even though you can never be perfect, but we try and get as close to perfect as we can.
Absolutely.
So I feel like it's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. I do want to get a little personal. What are some things? What are some of the craziest or wildest things you experience coming up? You know, from where you started to right now. Is there any stories or anything that happened that just was like mind blowing to you? Like, what in the world? People crazy.
Craziest experiences. Honestly, from childhood to adulthood, life has been very, very good for me. Like I would say in terms of crazy, that would be more along the lines of my military experience. Um just being in a situation with 9/11 and the pandemic and all that, having to go through that training and the fear of actually going to war was really eye-opening. You know what I'm saying? Back in 9/11, I served with my unit back then on the shore. I was a student athlete at the time, and just knowing that, seeing the 9/11 attacks and the buildings and the towers and all that, being a college student, we actually watching the plane colliding into the building, and then hours later getting a phone call from our chain of command saying that, okay, we're being mobilized. Like, you gotta go handle your affairs, let your family know, pack up your stuff. We out of here in a couple of hours, and we're going to this location, and we're going to train for a couple of months, and then we're going to go wherever we need to go, and we're going to be ready for any threat that even looks like it's not like one of us, and we're going to handle it with strong force. You know what I'm saying? So all of that was probably the most scariest moment of my life, because I can say for all the young soldiers, you're no stranger to the concept of having to put your life on the line for your country, but to be training in a position where, okay, we are really dealing with a natural threat, and rehearsing scenarios of how you will respond to that threat with deadly force, it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? So that was a tremendously eye-opening and humbling experience. You know what I'm saying? And it also puts life in perspective. Coming back to be a civilian again, it just lets you know that the struggles of the everyday man don't compare to the struggles of a soldier that's out here that has to decide on whether he's going to take someone else's life to secure his own or his fellow soldiers. That's real. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, for real.
you know, it don't get any realer than that. So I would say that's probably going to be the scariest story that I've experienced in my years. Now, as far as funny stories, I lose count of those. I definitely lose count of those situations where, you know, being a soldier, being a student, you know, I've experienced some good times. Shoot, my induction to the Baltimore club culture itself is a great story. You know what I'm saying? In 2000, matter of fact, I'll run it back. June 2000, I had just got back from 14 months in North Korea. I served a year over there on the end of my first circulation with my 8-year contract. And they allowed me to leave active duty to come back to be National Guard status and just a student athlete.
Right.
So in my in the preparation for everything, I got accepted my very first year at Morgan State University. Was hype out of my mind. HBCU, you know what I'm saying? And I heard a lot about Morgan back then, and I was just super excited for the opportunity. So that summer, got my acceptance letter. They told me, I could come through in between June, July for orientation, meet up with my that freshman class. Mind you, I was 20, turning 21 around that time, to show my age. And it was an exceptional time because I was a dancer then, but I wasn't engulfed in the culture of Baltimore Club up until that. And what really did it for me was during orientation, I met up with my friends and we were walking across the little bridge out at Morgan State, and everybody's talking about what they're going to do later on at night. Mind you, it's the middle of the week, it's Wednesday, it's a summer night, and everybody's talking about going to parties. And they're handing out flyers at the bridge, and they hand us a flyer, and it says, okay, the world famous Paradox. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Paradox, what's this? I read at the bottom, free before midnight with college ID. Looked at everybody, yo, we in there. And they got shuttle buses that's going to take us and bring us back, or we in there. So mind you, we getting fresh, we getting dressed up around 10:30, meet everybody up there by 11, hop on the bus. They take us down to the docks and everything. We see a whole bunch of people, yo, it look banging out here. Hear the music jumping from outside. Took us a few minutes, like 45 minutes to get in, but we got through the door right before midnight hit, so we got in there for free. Showed them our MSU ID and everything was everything. And I went in there and everything was chill. You know what I'm saying? They was playing a little house music at the time. I remember it's house music, and one of the dudes was just out there doing his little two-step and everything. And I'm like, yo, this is dope. Speakers thumping and everything. But what really made me fall in love, maybe like 2 hours later, it's about 1:30 a.m. and the DJ switch. I noticed that the DJ switch at that point in time, that's my first time ever meeting DJ Big L, Super DJ Big L. Mm-hmm. He comes in, he gets on the mic, starts mixing everything, and the whole energy, the vibe changes. It's like the party really came to life. And they started bumping the club music, and the bass was just hitting so hard with these speakers, like I could feel it in my chest, like boom, 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 boom. I was like,
yeah.
And I looked around the room. There was not one person standing still. There was not one person sitting down. Everybody was dancing. Everybody was moving and rocking. And I was like, yo, I'm in love. I'm in here every Friday. And faithfully, I kid you not, when you say consistency, I was even consistent then. Because from that point on, faithfully, every single Friday, I was in there. And over the years, I had built up my my name to the point where the DJs knew who I was, the security knew who I was, Miss Sean, the lady that took the money from us, knew who I was coming in. You know what I'm saying? And that's from just being consistently going there every Friday and dancing and doing me and everything else. And that contributed to me bridging over to the dancers page, Big Nasty, DJ Big Nasty, merging and collabing, making friends with him. and him introducing me into the King of the Chamber that year in 2011, where I really made a name for myself battling. We did that whole competition. I made it to the finals, winded up battling TSU Terry for that. The winner was gonna get some money or whatever, but DJ Big Nasty was like, yo, if you go far in this competition, I want you to do KOB. I was like, nah, I don't know about all that, man. That's above my pay grade. They really nice. They just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really wasn't feeling myself at the point, but he encouraged me to do it. He's like, all right, tell you what, if you go far in this competition, if you at least make it to the finals or win, you got to do King of Baltimore. So I made a deal with him. We shook hands on it and everything. And that night, I went crazy. I wind up battling Perp.
Mm-hmm.
I wind up battling Fat Man. I wind up battling Spyro. I beat all of them. Nope, and I also battled JR. So I went through 4 people: Perp, Fat Man, JR, Spyro, and then winded up facing Terry in the final battle.
Hey, before you continue, them list of people was not no slouches. You just named some tough people, you feel me, as far as dances. So just to let the people that don't know who these people are, these were some of the best people, you feel me, like the best dancers around that time.
Facts. They were monsters. They were monsters. And I went at them. You know what I'm saying? Went at them respectfully. We shook hands after it was over. But once the beat dropped and it was my go, I went for what I knew. You know what I'm saying? And you can look back. The footage is still on YouTube, I believe, of some of those battles. You know what I'm saying? And the battle that I remember in particular was my battle against JR, because JR was a monster back then. He was an absolute monster. Shout out to Prince TSU JR Slay.
Shout out Slay.
Yeah, and man, I still remember to this day, he did a move that I thought had me canceled. Back then, Dead Year's Eve was the track, and they played that, and he went first, and he came up dancing on me and everything, and he started popping and tutting, and he made a box, put it over my head, and brought it back. I was like, ooh. I don't know how I'm gonna respond to that, because it was so clean. He never touched me, but he put his whole arms around my head like a box, took it, broke it off, and did some other stuff with it, and the crowd ate it up. So I'm sitting there thinking in the back of my, I gotta snap back. I gotta snap back, because if I don't, it's over. And I still don't even know how I won that. But I tell you what, I used the same energy that he brought to me, and I went right back at him in attack mode. I got up in his face, gave him some footwork and everything, leaned over next to him, hit my spit, slid up real slow, looked at him, and the crowd went crazy.
Yeah, right.
I remember that to this day. And I was shocked. I was like, this could go either way. And the crowd went in my favor, because I felt like if they had said he won, I would have understood it. You know what I'm saying? Versus the other ones, I felt like it was no brainers. Like I was really on one at that point in time. But with that specific battle, I knew if they say he won, I would just have to humble myself and be like, yeah, because that move, I told him, yo, that move was so hard that you put on me. I didn't know how I was going to come back, but I did. You know what I'm saying? And the final battle, I still don't know to this day what Terry did when I turned my back. But when I turned my back, because I felt like I had him on the ropes, I was in attack mode. I went first and I went at him. And as soon as I turned around, he did something and the crowd went crazy. And I hurried up and turned back and he backed off. And I was like, what'd he do? I still don't know what move he did that got everybody's attention. But that's how he beat me. And respectfully, I had to eat that, you know what I'm saying? But from that point on, I said, okay, well, I guess I'm just Prince of the Chamber and he the king at that point. But because of that moment, it motivated me to take the next step, which was to compete in King of Baltimore, which was, I think it was KOB 4. I think it was KOB 4. And I remember to this day what I was wearing. I had this neon yellow jacket, jeans. I had a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I had this pow pow image that I was rocking. Went and got my hair cut. You know what I'm saying? Had the lines in it, the words. Oh, I was just doing it real big. So I had that whole thing. And also I was rocking behind Brick Squad, like that whole thing. I was riding that high. So that I used that and connected to my image and just was trying to feed off the energy from that to get my name more respect and everything. But that year, uh, wind up battling Chitty. I wind up battling Chitty in that competition, and we went pound for pound. And once again, it was his response that won the crowd over. That he was like doing a little faggy dance and everything, and that got everybody because I felt like it's neck and neck, but I feel like I bested him just off of moves alone. But because he had everybody knew him, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knew him, so he had the edge. You know, I humbly I humbly took that L and everything, but it could have went either way. But that was my introduction into KOB from that point. And I competed a few more times until KOB 6. KOB 6 is when something ranged in my head and I was thinking, yo, I have to make a statement. I have to make a statement because at that point in time, I'm in my 30s. I'm labeled as the oldest active dancer, and I need something fresh and to get everybody's attention, but to let them know at the same time I'm still here and I'm not to be played with. So I said, okay, because everybody's calling me Uncle Ty at that point in time. And on one end, it's a sign of respect after I realized it and just had some time to stomach it. But when you a dancer and everything, you don't want to be looked at as a unk. At that point, I'm feeling like, oh, so you trying to say I'm old. I can't, I'm not relevant. I should be out there with the likes of y'all competing. So I said, okay, so I'm going to flip that and make the joke and turn it into a strength. So that's when I came up with the idea and created Uncle Grandpa. You know, I went to a Samaritan house, found me a nice fly fedora hat, went and found some pimped out shades. I had some suspenders. I had a button up. I had some khaki, some dicky pants, and some black Nike boots. And I said, all right, I got something for them. Reached out to the homie. Shout out to DJ Dizzy. I said, Dizzy, I need you to make me a track, right? And I need you to give me some old school samples, something from the Temptations or whatever. He said, oh, I got just what you need. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I said, bet.
Perfect.
Sent me the sample. I said, okay, I know just what to do with that. He worked on it for a little bit. He said, all right, I'm going to send you this. Let me know what you think of it. He sent it to me. I said, yeah. That's it. I want that. So I kept it quiet, kept it hushed. I had the whole ensemble, the image, the music. All I needed to do was just hit the stage and perform. So on that day of KOB 6, I got suited and booted, went up into the building, got me a chair, and I sat smack down where I could see everything going on in front of me. Everything. So all the dancers is walking by and they doing a double take looking at who is this? I'm not saying nothing. I'm just sitting here like this, playing with my beard, you feel me? And watching everybody, and I'm laughing in my head because I'm like, yo, they don't know that it's me. So all I had to do was wait for them to call my name. So everybody's warming up, everybody's starting to get into battle mood. And then I hear Neek be chilling, call out, I need Ty the General to the stage. Everybody looking around, waiting for me to come out. He said again. I said, I need Ty the General to come to the stage. I said, I'm gonna let it boil for a second. Then when he says my name for the third time, I get up real slow and I just start slow strolling to the stage to let everybody let it sink in. And as I'm moving, everybody like, oh my God, hey yo, that's Todd. He about to go crazy. I hear applause, clapping, screaming, all of that. Get up on stage, and I look over the DJ and I wave my finger, and I already know. Soon as I hear the music, the beat drop, just what to do and how to do it. Beat drops, I pop the jacket off my shoulders, I slide forward, and I begin to do what I do. And the rest was history from that night. And it was like having an out of body experience because I could not see the crowd in front of me. Everything was a blur. Everything was a blur, and all I could hear was the music, and I was just going, like I was going 100% hard with it to the point where I might have been out of breath afterwards, but you would never be able to tell because I was in my zone.
Right.
I was in my zone. And then after the beat stopped and dropped and everything, yo, I was just so hyped. And I walked off the stage and I sat back down. Now, the funny thing about it is if I knew then what I know now, I would have went through the entire competition as Uncle Grandpa. That would have probably given me the leverage that I needed to get to that next level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I was only meant for that one moment. And then I switched back into Todd the German mode, had some decked out shirt, pants, and everything, and I winded up battling Juice. You know what I'm saying? And me and Juice, we was battling each other like we was ready to fight each other for real.
Yeah.
Like it was intense. It was very, very intense. And in the heat of that moment, I knew that we were just battling just because neither one of us wanted to lose, but we still had so much respect for each other because there was a moment where I tried to get back on the stage and he blocked me from getting on. Instinctively, my first thought was to yank his legs and pull him off the stage, but I knew what would happen if I had done that. You feel me? So I kind of fell back off of that, and he used that to his advantage, is why he won that battle. So after the battle was over, we shook hands, and I whispered as I said, nigga, you lucky. I said, because I was going to do something, and we probably would have wanted to fight. He said, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about, but we laughed about it, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, because both of our adrenaline was pumping, it probably would have went left. You know what I'm saying? And I always laugh to myself about that. What if I had acted off of my reflexes instead of just thinking? Because I thought that through and decided that I wasn't going to do instinctively what I was going to originally do, which was to pull his legs from out under him and yank him off of the stage since he didn't want to try to let me back on the stage. But shout out to Juice because, you know what I'm saying, that was a very intense battle, and I was on my game that night. I felt like I had what it takes to get all the way to the finals, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Danye because he was a young boy at the time and he was my first opponent. And I didn't want to battle him because he was in my group. You know what I'm saying? And I had respect for him because he had heart as much as he had mouth. And after that battle, I was like, okay, now I'm not facing anybody that's in my group. So now I don't have to take it easy. I can just unleash my full arsenal and go 100%. And I found out it was going to be Juice. I was like, oh, okay. He going to match my energy. That's how Juice rolled. He was a high energy dancer when he did compete. So I already knew what to expect with him. You know what I'm saying? But that night was crazy. It was definitely crazy. And if I had it to do over again, I kind of feel like I might have tested the waters and we would have just had to throw hands.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if
that
he
was
had
a check point.
Yeah, it was. But I took the high road. And I feel like if I hadn't taken the high road, I would have won, but it would have also ended in a brawl. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know, I learned a lot from it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that was probably my best opportunity to get the crown that night. You know what I'm saying? And hell, I might not have made it all the way to face Loso or Devo that night, but I damn sure would have gotten at least to the semis. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Kings and the Princes of Baltimore for everyone that I competed in, 4, 5, and 6.
Got you. And at the end of our episode, I always try to go back to the comments. It was a couple comments that I want to read off to you, and if you was following along with the episode, you'll be able to tell what these comments were catered to, and likewise with us, we'll be able to tell what these comments are catered to as well.
Right.
I can't wait until the season start. I love Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know.
Yeah.
The young boy is coming this year.
Yeah.
Lamar has to master his pocket presence as well.
True.
Another comment is Holmes and Jalen Hurts is the top 2.
True. I respect to Hurts because he is up there as well. He is up there as well.
But Hurts only did it 1 year, so I gotta like slow down on him. We can't give him too much too fast.
Exactly the same way I am about Burrow.
Yeah, for sure. Great players though, and I think they're gonna do even better this year too. So another comment. I would love to see you say this on your platform. It might happen sooner than later. And then I reply to that comment. You only get the exclusive stuff on New Era. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. Can't give them everything.
Yeah, that's all of the comments that we have for right here for right now. But I do want to wrap this episode up, and I want to end the episode on a positive note. Thanking you for being on this episode and taking your time out your busy schedule to be a part of NewEra410 podcast, episode 8. And throughout the week, we'll be dropping different parts of the podcast. Everybody that was on the live stream, shout out to everybody on the live stream. But I do want to end it with you letting people know what to expect coming soon from you, and let everybody know where they can follow you on all platforms.
Okay, good people that's out there. This is Uncle Grandpa here. You can follow me on my social media. Facebook, you can type up Wayne Tyrell Reese. That is my government name. On Facebook. On Instagram, you can follow me under Uncle Grandpa _on one. That's Uncle Grandpa _on one. And on TikTok, which is my biggest platform, simply Uncle Grandpa on one, all in one word. So
what can we look forward to? You got any big things coming up or anything coming up that you can let us know?
Actually, I want to say just stay tuned, because you never know where you can catch me, or you'll never know where I'm gonna pop up at. Be sure to keep an eye open, because I'm looking to hit all the county fairs, the carnivals, and events to that nature. And I'm definitely going to be even more engaged in all the Ravens events that I possibly can, especially the preseason practices. You might catch me out there. I'm definitely going to be at the Maryland State Fair. You can catch me there as well. I was there last year. Shout out to TSU Flash. Nephew and I was out there making content and just entertaining the masses, and they enjoyed it. So I will be back there again, and you never know who I'll link up with there. I'm going to be hitting Ocean City probably next week at some point to link up with Jersey Joe. He's also an influencer on TikTok with 1 million followers, and we're probably going to link up and make some awesome content together. And I'm not sure, but there may be some flights that I may be taking in the future. Also, I will be making an appearance at VidCon when they come to Baltimore in September, between September and October. So just looking to expand on my platforms and just continue to spread this positive energy and share my love and passion for Baltimore club culture.
Yeah, man, we definitely appreciate having you on here. Once again, y'all can follow him at Uncle Grandpa on one on most platforms. He gave y'all his personal Facebook page as well. And you go also check us out on New Era 410 podcast on all platforms. Everything is New Era 410 podcast. We got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got a Facebook page, and of course, we on our YouTube channel right now. But I do want to give a special thanks, man. Special thanks. This was a special episode, and I think that people really enjoyed this episode, and people are going to be looking forward to a lot of things that you're going to do in the future. And just to let you know, I do got one question and I do got one statement. Which one do you want first?
Let's go with the question.
The question is, are we ever going to get some Uncle Grandpa on one merch? Is that going to be a thing? I think if you haven't thought about it, I want to break that right now on New Era. I think that's something, you feel me, that you should do, bro.
You know what? Just for you, yeah, that is definitely a future endeavor for there to be Uncle Grandpa on one merch coming in the future. Now, I can't specify exactly when that's going to be, but it will be in the works. Hopefully before this year's out. And we're just gonna have to see. But yeah, that's definitely something that I want to get cracking with.
All right, and
Good question.
Yeah, for sure. I always be thinking about different ways that you can like get your name out there more. And then, you know, about me making clothes, so I definitely thought about it earlier because we got the New Era shirts that's about to come out. So I'm like, I can really see Uncle Grandpa on one t-shirts. Even if it's just a shirt with you holding a cane looking, you know, like whether it's funny, whether it's genuine, I can
That's
see
lit.
you.
Yeah.
I can see it. And I feel like that's something that you'll really benefit from. It can be a new stream of revenue. So definitely. My statement is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with you, saying facts.
Yeah, for sure. My statement is, outside of all of the accomplishments and everything, how are you feeling mentally as a Black man in the world right now? I guess that's a question. But that's
yeah,
kind of
that's a deep statement and question. As a Black man in this world right now, outside of Uncle Grandpa, I feel on guard. On guard, I feel like it's important to have my head on a swivel, to be aware of my surroundings and to try to better myself on a day-to-day basis, to set a positive example for my family, for my children, for my peers, and for those that don't have a proper example of what a positive, educated Black man looks like. So yeah, I'm on guard. And that's, it's a gift and a curse, you know what I'm saying? Because as a soldier, you know, I'm always trained to have my head on the swivel, to be aware of my surroundings, to be ever vigilant, you know what I'm saying? And as a man, I want to present the best possible male figure that I can, because I have sons and I have daughters, and I have a significant other that is my partner, my teammate, that we try to tag team and raising these kids together, especially because they're a blended family. So their trials and tribulations may be different than your average Black family. And those are some things that, it's kind of scary to think about, because there's so much more time to prepare. There's so much more time to raise these children, to expect the unexpected, what to do, what not to do as they grow. And I just pray that God continues to give me wisdom to be able to lead them. and to show them and to lead by example the best way that I can.
Got you. And I wanted to end with that because a lot of people don't know June is National Men's Mental Health Month. Is that something that you knew?
Yeah, actually, I am as and fun fact, most people don't know that I am a mental health advocate myself, and I just graduated with my master's in social work. So
Congrats.
I'm very much aware. I'm very much aware.
Definitely. And I want to give you this chance before we exit. I do have some my co-hosts in the comments. She said, "Thank you, Uncle Grandpa. I can't wait to meet you in person." That is Amore. So I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be running into each other pretty soon. Y'all both be in a lot of the different scenes and stuff like that.
Right.
She also said bring out the canes. That can also be a different thing as far as business wise, if you get your own line of canes or things like that.
That would interesting.
Yeah, so we always trying to promote people to be able to use their platforms for more than just what it is and create different streams of revenue and income and things like that. So
Outstanding. Shout out to Amore. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Definitely. And I want to end it. I know we said we're going to end it like 10 different times. I want to end it with, if you got anybody you want to thank or shout out, you feel me? Like the floor is yours, and then we can wrap this episode up.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I just want to say first and foremost, God is love. God is everything. He is the beginning and the ending, and without him, none of this will be possible. And shout out to my family. Shout out to my supporters, the real ones, and even a shout out to the haters, because you're not popping if you don't have some. So
right. Definitely, man. And once again, thank you for being on this episode with us. I'll keep you tapped into everything, and we're gonna keep your video in our link in the bio on. I have it on my page, and the New Era page has your link in their bio. And on TikTok, I believe I just put it on there today. So we're gonna keep it on there until you get to your 1 million viewers. So,
really, it's at probably another day or so. Another day or so, it's gonna hit. I'm watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
thank you, man. Like any other time, it's always great when we talk, and I appreciate you coming on this episode. New Era, man. NewEra410. If y'all like what y'all hear and y'all want to see more interviews, and during the season, I'll be live streaming some of the football games. You feel me? So
Nice.
Each football game that I live stream, I'm going to bring on a guest. It's kind of like how Eli and Peyton do. So I'm going to be doing something like that. So look out, because I know for sure I'm going to get you on one of the Ravens episodes whenever you're not like there performing with them and stuff.
Facts.
Appreciate having you, man. I wish you the best of luck on all your endeavors and everything that you're trying to accomplish. I got nothing but confidence and faith that you're going to get to everywhere you need to get to. Just make sure you stay safe, put God first, keep being a great man that you are, a great father that you are, a great person that you are. And we out, man.
God bless.
All right, man. Have a great day.